Coming up,
we help veterans and first responders through motorsports, and we quickly learned the impact that motorsports has on the mental health and just the overall well-being of the communities that we serve.
America turns 250 and we turn to support our veterans while they turn on the racetrack to learn better stress management. We'll meet the veteran who's teamed up with the SoFlo University to improve mental health resources to his brothers in arms. Plus, we can't have an Independence Day weekend without some barbecue. All that and more is today on SoFlo Health. Yesterday, the United States of America turned 250. Today, you're watching SoFlo Health. Hello and welcome. I'm Hunter Frankie, and we are about to meet with the Veterans Trust in honor of America turning 250, in honor of those that served us so well. We're at Nova Southeastern University at the Maxwell Maltz building, and that's because they're collaborating with the Veterans Trust. We're about to learn more about both organizations, but effectively what's happening here is veterans are getting treatment through racing. Automotive racing. Yes, I know that sounds odd. You'll see what I mean in just a moment. And not only are they doing so, but they're getting great results, sharing them with the university, and the university is sharing them with everyone else. It's a great ecosystem I'm excited to learn more about in honor of America turning 250. So follow me and we'll meet Steven, the one who kind of started this all. As promised, I'm now joined by Steven of the Veterans Trust. Steven, thanks for having us in today.
Thank you, thank you.
So for everybody that doesn't know what the Veterans Trust is, what is it?
Yeah, so the Veterans Trust is a nonprofit organization. We're based out of Fort Lauderdale, and we help veterans and first responders through motorsports. We originally started as a grant fundraising foundation, and we quickly learned the impact that motorsports has on the mental health and just the overall well-being of the communities that we serve. Yeah, and the Veterans Trust is an organization that's been around, but you personally started this automotive sports kind of thing, and we're going to get into these simulators behind us in just a moment. How did that come to be? That came to be through kind of my own struggle. As I got out of the military, I went through a lot of things, battled suicide, had lost a child. I was diagnosed with a rare type of muscular dystrophy, so I just found that like a lot of the things that were typical avenues, the VA and a couple other things, you know, the group sessions they just weren't working for me. And so that's when I found I really love, you know, the video games, but there's not really a way to escalate the stress when it comes to the video games, and that's where I learned about the racing simulators and had the idea for the race camp program. Yeah, so this is the training aspect here at the Sims. Take me through each part of the program. Yeah, so the ride portion of the program, we bring the guys out trackside. They get to go for a ride along, kind of get reintroduced to the community with their veterans that are also out there with them, and then introduced to motorsports. And then we have the training portion of the program here with Nova Southeastern University, where we're training them in the psychological skills. Then we have the drive portion of the program, where we are partnered with organizations and companies like the Concourse Club, US Drift Circuit, and South Florida Motorsports, who help us facilitate a lot of things in motorsports. The Concourse Club actually allows us to bring guys out and not only get ride-alongs, but also to drive and race in little time trial races at their track. And we'll get more into these simulators over here, but tell me a little bit about them right now while we've got them set up here behind us. Yeah, absolutely. So these simulators were built by Full Sense Sims. They help us build them and facilitate them and maintain them. They're top of the line. They're high-end simulators. They have active air on them. They've got force feedback in the wheels, as realistic of pedals as you can get, and they're basically one-to-one to like a racing, like a Miata or some kind of race car like that. Sounds cool. It sounds like a lot of fun, and it's something that you can kind of mesh a little bit of everything you mentioned earlier. Something to get your mind off of every day, either struggles or grind, what you're going through, something to build community, to challenge yourself, give yourself some new purpose, and just have some fun. Right, exactly. And that's the most important. Keep watching SoFlo Health right here at Nova Southeastern University with the Veterans Trust and Steven, and we'll be right back. America just turned 250, and although barbecue isn't necessarily something that started in America, it's certainly become an American tradition. And here in South Florida, we've been needing some new barbecue in our lives. Well, search no longer. La Traila here in South Miami is here to serve up some delicious brisket, turkey, pork belly, and so much more. You gotta meet Mel and see what he's got in store for us. Let's go. Well,
If you're a vegan, I suggest you just look away, because this is not the place for that, because all of this beautiful barbecue is prepared by this man here, Mel Rodriguez. Mel, thank you so much for this unbelievable feast. We were just over at the counter, kind of getting a little tour of what it is that we have here. We tasted some brisket, we tasted some pork belly brisket, tasted some turkey. I want to try something a little new. What should I put together here in maybe one of these tortillas or something?
Again, this is a La Traila feast, a Mi Familia feast here at La Traila Barbecue. It's basically a sample of every meat that we serve. My suggestion in this case would be, I would grab some of the pork belly.
Okay.
Pickled onions. I would urge you to grab a little bit of the rice and beans.
A little bit of the rice and beans?
Yeah.
In typical me fashion, I kind of grab too much of everything. But
hey, it's all right.
That's how we're gonna go. So I'm gonna roll this up the best I can, take a bite, get a little of everything.
How juicy was that?
Oh my God. So full of flavor.
Yeah.
A nice mix of everything. You're not overpowered by the onions or anything else.
Not at all.
All blends together so well.
It's a good balance with all of that.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Who's welcome here?
Everyone is welcome here. This is, you know, from me to you, this is my home. I welcome everyone. You're gonna get a fat, warm hug when you get into this cream style corn, the mac and cheese, the sweet potato cornbread. I mean, it's all very intentional, man, and that's just kind of what we do here, right?
Definitely.
Everyone's welcome, and it says it right up here, right? We do it all with love.
For sure. Incredible.
I do want to point something out, and I don't really promote this all that much, but we're also seed oil free.
Wow.
Everything we do is cooked with beef tallow.
Beef tallow, that definitely makes a difference, because you can definitely taste it in everything. It's just juicy, it's fresh, and I'm telling you, you've never had turkey like this before. You just haven't. Mel, is there anything else you want people to know about the restaurant, about what you're doing?
I mean, we just opened 2 months ago, right? And like I said, everyone is welcome. We're located in South Miami. We're right off US 1 and 71st Street. So if you want to find us, definitely find us on social media. If you go to La Traila Barbecue, and that's Instagram, our website's there, our hours are there. Everything you'll find you need to contact us, do it through Instagram, or again, our website, which is latrailabarbecue.com.
Definitely. I mean, thank you so much for having us. This is an incredible spread that you put together for the people of South Florida. And I think you're right. There was a hole for that barbecue, but you filled it, and boy, did you fill it well.
Thank you so much.
All right, I'm gonna keep making a mess and finish this off. Mel, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Man. Hover around and come back after the break to meet an all-American retired patrol officer providing a service to keep you safe on your travels to the Bahamas when SoFlo Health returns. This is a racing simulator made by Full Send Sims. Welcome back to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Frankie. We're at Nova Southeastern University with the Veterans Trust. And earlier, I was with Steven, and we found out how he brought this here to Nova Southeastern University, along with the Veterans Trust, to help veterans be able to better manage their stress and give them an environment where they can stress out safely, but also learn to regulate that stress and bring it back down. So we're gonna continue our conversations that we're having here in honor of America turning 250 with this.
So we've collaborated fairly recently with the Veterans Trust to provide a program, what we consider very unique, but there's some evidence base behind it. It's called stress inoculation. And what we do is we put veterans in a high stress, high pressure race car simulator, which will increase their stress, but in a safe manner. So it kind of kicks in their sympathetic nervous system, their fight or flight. And while they're in that environment, we have students who work with them to provide what we call some kind of psychological skills training. We teach them how to regulate their breathing, their physiology, regulate their emotions, and even regulate their interpersonal relationships. So the goal is that as they're learning how to regulate their emotions and down-regulate that fight or flight response, that reactive response, they'll carry that out into the real world, and that'll generalize out to their relationships. So instead of going to having a more reactive type of experience or behaviors, maybe getting into road rage or turning to substance abuse, they'll be able to down-regulate those kind of reactive responses and be able to have a much more positive type of coping skills and strategies.
I served for 14 years So using that insight and also having been one of the students last year giving this program to the veterans, I've been able to use that insight to train other students, but also using my experience within the military to connect deeper with the veterans that we do help in this program.
Now let's see, how do I start this thing? When John McClane did it, I think he just hit a big red button and got flying. Don't worry, I'm not actually trying to fly a helicopter. In fact, it wouldn't be much of a flight, it'd be more like a crash. But this helicopter is a part of Tropic Air Rescue's fleet, which is a very important service that allows you to be rescued out of the Bahamas in the event that you have a medical emergency. But it's way more than just that. So let's go meet with Tony and find out more. Next to me is Tony. He's the president of Tropic Air Rescue and Tropic Air Charters. Tony, thanks for having us out here today.
My pleasure, Hunter.
I have to say, this is one of the coolest things that we've been able to check out in some time. You pilot rescue helicopters.
Yeah.
And you also have other pilots that do that for you. How did this come to be?
Well, I purchased a company, was down here, was as a retirement. So it was this little ad that said, buy these airplanes and enjoy your retirement flying back and forth to the Bahamas. And I said, boy, that sounds like a pretty cool idea. So I ended up buying the company. It's we fly passengers and cargo back and forth to the Bahamas, called Tropic Air Charters. And about a year into it, maybe a year and a half into it, one of my pilots ran into a person that needed to be medevaced. And he was afraid to put him in the aircraft because he was having a stroke and he didn't know what to do. So I told him, just sit tight, let me call an air ambulance out there for you. And I proceeded to call about 15 companies. Nobody would come out. There was nothing to do. So I started the next couple of days looking for rescue helicopter service. Found out there wasn't one. There's never been one. And I went inside to the office and I said, we're changing the direction of the company today. We're going to be a rescue helicopter company also. It took me about 2 years of certifications through the federal government, the FAA, the Florida government, through getting our air ambulance license, the Bahamian government, all those things. And finally, we opened the doors and we were ready after I hired all the medics, the doctors, the pilots, the nurses. March 1st of 2024 is when we started. From being bit by sharks, run over by boats and chopped up by propellers, heart attacks, strokes, broken backs. Anything you can think of that happens here happens over there, only there's no help.
Besides the transport, there's the peace of mind of not having to think about all of those factors yourself is an incredible relief for a lot of people, I'm sure.
Yes. Unfortunately, nobody thinks about it till the last minute, and then it's too late.
Yeah.
Now you've got a problem.
But thankfully, you're here to do a lot of that thinking ahead of time for everyone. So keep watching SoFlo Health. We've got so much more to learn here with Tony. Later on, we're going to speak to a medic, but we're also going to check out what's going on in there. We're back with the Veterans Trust at NSU, and we'll learn about the connection between stress regulation and your physiology after the break on SoFlo Health. Welcome back to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Frankie. This is Tony, the owner of Tropic Air Rescue, and we are in one of the helicopters that you saw earlier if you were with us. So Tony, first of all, thanks for having us in here because this is pretty cool, but what do we need to know about what we see here?
All right, so this is a Sikorsky S-76 medevac configured helicopter. It can carry one person on the stretcher. We have in the back wall there, you'll see we have oxygen, we have medical air, we have suction, we have liquid oxygen in the rear compartment, so we can fly for hours and still give oxygen to the patient. And as you see, it's set up like a regular ambulance. There's really no difference. The only difference is it flies.
Well, yeah.
As opposed to anything else.
Which is quite a big difference.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the rescue aspect of things, how does that affect your pilots, your medics? What are they preparing for mentally? What do they need to do to be able to do this?
Well, right now we have another hangar on the other side, and that's the quarters for the whole medical operation. So that's where the maintenance takes place. There are quarters there for them to sleep. They have their offices there to do flight planning. Any office work that needs to be done. There's a kitchen, there's bathrooms, there's showers, conference training area. So they basically live there. We're a 24-hour-a-day operation. We're ready to go at a moment's notice.
And who is this for?
It's a membership program, so you have to be a member in order to get our services. If you're a member and you pay your membership fee, we come out immediately. There's no money changes hands. We pick you up, we take you to the hospital, and then we bill your health insurance after the fact. So you don't have to get your credit card out, you don't have to get your checkbook out, you don't have to empty your pockets of cash. And a trip can cost $40,000, $50,000 to go out there on a medical evacuation, 250 miles out into the ocean.
Yeah.
It's a long way out there. It takes a lot to be ready for that.
So my first day on the job, I was at work for 5 minutes and we had a call. And we went off on a flight and we rescued somebody in the Bahamas. It was awesome. I love flying, and the added, getting to rescue somebody, it's awesome.
So I'm the chief paramedic here. I basically help oversee the medical operations side. Every day's a surprise. We never know what we're gonna get. It could be a rescue, it could be an inter-facility. Bottom line is we're always prepared for whatever comes in. Don't wait until last minute. If you're gonna travel, definitely join the membership. It's well worth it. A lot of the patients that I've transported even said, I wish I would've known about this sooner.
If people want to find out more about this program or be a part of it, how can they?
You can go onto our website. It's tropicairrescue.com, and it explains pretty much what it is. There's a telephone number there, so you can call if you have more information. You sign up. You'll need your passport, your credit card, and your medical insurance card.
Well, thank you so much for what you do and sharing all of this with us.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, Hunter.
You bet. I'm now joined by Kamini. We have been here with the Veterans Trust today in honor of America turning 250 yesterday. And this is a pretty cool part of the program. They have a race simulation program here. It's actually more than that. That's just what we get to see here on site. But they get veterans out in the field, being able to ride along on a racetrack, bring them in here to train them on simulators, and then back out onto a racetrack again to drive themselves to get some adrenaline pump out there, but also to be able to learn to regulate their nervous system in the process and take care of themselves throughout the year. Is this something that you could use me as a guinea pig and show people at home how it works?
Absolutely.
Great.
So I'll have you
do it.
stand up for a quick second.
Sure.
So this is our respiratory band. We're gonna put this around your belly. This is gonna be the grounding wire. It's just there to help calibrate the two sensors for your heart rate. So I'm gonna turn on the machine. We want to just focus on the two things that are most important to us right now, which is the heart rate and their breathing. So we switch it to this screen so you can really just focus on the two. So you can see in real time, following this pacer, if we get to this frequency, that we're in a relaxed state. The body is more calm and these calming nervous systems are activated.
Yeah.
So now I'll start the Nexus 10. First you'll see your breathing and then the heart rate. You're not flatlined. The red will be your heart rate, but it'll start calibrating, and there it is. We want to breathe in through our nose.
Okay.
And if you like, you can put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. And when we breathe through our nose, we want to feel that bottom hem being pushed out. We want to feel that diaphragm working and it really stretching out the lungs and taking in all this air, and we want to feel that bottom hand moving. That's fantastic. So we breathe in through our nose like a balloon's filling up in our belly. And then we want to breathe out through our mouth like we're blowing out birthday candles. Now, if you take a look, your breathing is very calm. It's uniformed, and what we also see is your heart rate is very controlled. And what we want to see is this pattern where when it goes up together like that respiratory rate, we also want to see the heart rate increase. And when the heart rate's going down with the breathing, it's kind of like in sync, in resonance. That is what we also like to call coherence. They're together going up and they're going down at the same time.
That's so cool to be able to see this as a data readout. Here on SoFlo Health, we've done things in the past, either with breath work or in yoga or other things, where we're breathing and we're paying attention to those things. But for some people, I think especially that are more analytical, or people that maybe they have a harder time abstracting information like that, they're able to see feedback immediately right here in front of them. And I imagine for a lot of the veterans that you're working with, they're used to seeing pretty cause and effect in their life. So they're able to see that right here visually, as well as experiencing it and getting the guidance through it. And ultimately, you're able to track this to be able to get better outcomes for them as the future goes on. Is there anything here that you would say to another student considering a program like this?
Absolutely. At the Center of Research and Treatment with Dr. Kennedy, it's an extremely unique opportunity to work directly with military personnel and service members that I don't see that other programs in our university has. We've had the great opportunity to work extensively with veterans with PTSD, and now we're just working with veterans in general that have seen combat or haven't seen combat. We're just, if this is something that you're passionate about, to serve those who have served us, to serve those that are underserved, this is a great opportunity to work with military personnel, and as well as we're expanding to first responders that are also often overlooked in this practicum site.
Great. Well, Kamini, thank you so much for sharing. We'll be right back here with the Veterans Trust at Nova Southeast University in just a bit. Welcome back to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Frankie, and we are wrapping up our time here at Nova Southeastern University with the Veterans Trust. What a cool day it's been to spend some time with veterans on the first day of the 250th year of the United States, and to be able to do so in a way that you know they're having fun, they're learning something new, how to regulate their parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems and take that out into everyday life. And that the students and faculty here at Nova Southeastern University are really serious and excited to be able to bring these results to the veterans and then share them with the greater community at large. And as you heard, one of the students even wants to take this work into the VA to be able to provide it even farther. That's all we have for this week's episode of SoFlo Health. Thank you so much for watching. As always, you can catch previous episodes of SoFlo Health on SoFloShows.com. You can follow us using @SoFlo Health to share with us what you're doing to stay healthy. And until next week, right here on Local 10, the local station, it's goodbye and good health.
This has been a presentation of WPLG Local 10, the leader in local SoFlo programming.